Hello, Sudoku friends. Welcome to the New York Times Hard Sudoku. Today is February 5, 2023. I have a Spanish-German video language exchange session coming up in 45 minutes. I will try to finish this video before then. I've also been busy planning my upcoming motorcycle trip. I want to do some astrophotography on this trip. The light pollution in this city and frankly in most populated areas in the world is terrible. So the conditions are not very good for astrophotography, for which I also need a new moon, not a full moon, because the moon just lights up the entire sky. Getting into a non-light polluted area at night, especially in Vietnam, is a logistical nightmare because only an idiot would go on the highway on motorcycle or in a car after dark. There are just too many lunatics on the road. So I'll have to figure out a way to do it. Anyway, let's get on with today's puzzle, shall we? One will go here or here because we have the one coming over here and this one coming up here. I'm immediately attracted to the 8, 9 going over here and the 8, 9 coming down here and the 9 coming over here. So at least a 9 will have to go here or here. Let's see if this is going to be a New York Times thingy and something else is going to happen to this square here. Meanwhile, the 4 coming up here and the 4 coming over here makes one of these a 4. There are quite a number of 3s here. Can we do something with those? One of these must be a 3 and one of these must be a 3 as well. Yes, 3 coming up, 3 coming over. This is a 3. No, it's not, because this could also be a 3. Let me do this slowly. Instead, let me look at the 2's here blocking these 5 squares and the 2 here blocking this square. So this is a 2. And now we got the 2 blocking down here and the 2 blocking over here. So one of these must be a 2, and therefore this square must be a 2. And now we got a 2 here and here blocking these 5 squares. We got this 2 blocking here. So this is this is a 2. Didn't I just predict that? You got a 9 and an 8 coming over here and a 9 and an 8 coming down here. So these are in fact a 9 and an 8. Oh, how beautiful is that? That makes one of these an 8. And we got a 5 and a 1 blocking over here. So this is a 5 and a 1 pair, making these a 6, 7, and a 2. And we know that the 2 must go here because of these 2's here blocking up here and here. So this is a 2. And these 2 guys have to be a 6 and a 7. Can we use that for anything? I'm not quite sure. I think I'll have to revisit that. I have the feeling there must be something I can do. I need a 1, 3, 5, and a 7 to complete the top row. There's a 1, 5 here. So this is a 3, 7. There's a 1, 7 here. So this is a 3, 5. There's a 5 here. Too complicated for me right now. 4, 5, 6, and 7 for these 4 squares. The 5 must go over here somewhere. The 6, oh, and the 6 must go here because we have a 6 blocking here and the 6 blocking down here. So this is a 6. And that makes this a 6. And now we only have a 7 and an 8 here. And we know where they go, don't we? Because we have a 6, 7 ghosts over here. So this can't be a 7. It therefore must be an 8, and this must be a 7. And now one of these is a 1. I think I mentioned that before anyway. And because we have this 7 here and we have a ghost 7 here and we have the 7 coming up here, this is a 7. And that makes this a 1 5, this is a 3 5, and this is a 1 3. I think that'll have to wait. But we found a couple of 2s. So given that these two squares have to be an 8 and a 9, we still need to find a, oh, what? 1 4 5 and a 7. There's a 5 coming over here, so one of these must be a 5. There's a 1 coming over here, so one of these must be a 1. And the 4 will have to go, oh, hang on. No, 4 can go here, here, and here. So I'm not quite there yet. However, in the row, we also need a 1, 4, 7, and a 6. We got a 1 and a 7 here, so this is a 4 or a 6. And we know that one of these two must be a 6 anyway. And a 4 and a 6 blocking here, so this is a 1 or a 7. Not quite there yet either. Oh, but there I'm spotting the 2 going over here, blocking here, and blocking here, and the 2 coming down here, blocking here. So this is a 2, isn't it? I know that one of these must be a 9 because we have a 9 blocking here, and these cannot be 9s, of course. The 2 other cells must be a 4 and a 3. I need to work harder on this, I think. Either I'm just not seeing it, or this grid is tougher than the grid yesterday from the New York Times. But I believe that this is a 6 or a 7, and this is also a 6 or a 7. Let me try to explain what I think. I think that this square, we need to find a 1, 4, 5, 6, and a 7 for this column. There's a 1 and a 4 here, and the 5 that is going to go here or here will also block this cell. So this is a 1, 4, 5 blocking this square, so it must be a 6 or a 7. And we also have a 6 and a 7 here. That just leaves me to find a 1, 4, and a 5 for these squares here. And actually, this cannot be a 1, so, and this cannot be a 1. So this can't be a 1, so a 1 must go here or here. So the 5 is spoken for. The 4 can go here, here, and here. It's not really helpful, but hopefully this analysis is going to come in handy later. But these two here must be a 3 and an 8, because there's a 3 here and there's a 3 here, and they force a 3 to go here or here. There's an 8 here and a ghost 8 here, so these two have to be a 3 and an 8, leaving a 4, 5, and a 7 for these squares here. A 6 and an 8 must go in two of these 3 cells here, because this can't be a 6 or an 8, and this cannot be a 6 or an 8 because of the 6 and an 8 here. So this is a 6 or an 8. But you know what? This square can only be a 4, and it's really obvious when you see it, but before you see it, it's not that obvious. a simple count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ghosts here. That's a 4. Simple when you know it. So let's see. Now one of these must be a 4, and this must be a 5 or a 7 now. And since we have this 4 blocking here, and we have the 4 here and the 4 up here, so this is a 4, yes. And that makes this a 4. I think that probably broke this puzzle. And I'm sure there are numerous other paths that some of you or all of you or many of you have found. But this, I think, broke the puzzle for me. This is now a 4, and that makes this a 4. This is a 4. And this is now 5, 7. This is a 1 and a 3 now. And that we have a 3 in a row. So the 3 goes here and the 1 here. That gives me the 1 here and the 5 here. And I think we have got it now. These must be an 8 and a 7. We got a 7 in the row. So this is an 8 and this is a 7. Now we look for a 3, 9 and a 1 here. And we will have to continue looking, I think. But we are getting closer. 7, 7, one of these 3 must be a 7. And you know what? This cannot be a 7 because it's an 8 or a 9. So we got these two 7s here blocking over. So this is a 7. I can find this one up here, even without wearing my eyeglasses. And that's going to be a 5. One of these must be a 5 now. And this 5 blocks over here, this 5 blocks down here. We know that one of these is a 5 blocking here, so this is a 5. And that makes this a 5. These two now have to be an 8 and a 9, but there's an 8 in the row, making this a 9, and this an 8, and this a 9. Finally. We still have our 3, 8 pair here, right? Making these a 7 and a 5. This is also a 7 and a 5, therefore this is not a 7 or a 5. I'm wagering that it's going to be a 1, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah, there's a 1 coming over here blocking, so this is a 1, and therefore this must be a 1. We got the 1 blocking over here and the 1 blocking over here, this one blocking down, so this is a 1. This is now a 7 or a 6, and this is a 7 or a 6. We have a 7 in the column, making this a 6, and this a 7, making this a 7, and this a 6, like so. This is now a 5, finally, making this a 5, and this must be a 7. And that makes this a 7. This lonely cell must be an 8, and that makes this an 8. This last empty square must be a 3, and that makes this a 3. Now we just need a 1 here and a 9 here, making this a 6. Sometimes it's difficult to spot the last digit. I don't know why. Must be human nature, or maybe I'm not human. Anyway, we had a 9 in one of these two squares, and the other one must be a 3. Oh, we can't solve that yet. What about these two? They have to be a 3 and an 8. Yes. So to the rescue, one of these two, they must be a 6 and a 9. So we have a 6 here in the row. So this is a 9, and this is a 6, and that should help. Giving me a 6 here, giving me an 8 here making this an 8 and this a 3, and this is now a 3 and this is a 9. I seemed to struggle with this puzzle. Perhaps it's because I'm under some pressure to finish before my preparation for the video call with my language partner in Mexico. But I got through the puzzle. I thank you for watching, and please, I don't do this often, but if you liked the puzzle, would you mind giving it a thumbs up or a like? Because it might help Google's algorithms find other like-minded viewers who enjoy solving puzzles without using notation. And if you don't, that's fine too. I'm happy you watched it this far. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.